Hello. I'm currently having a minor meltdown over this thing because I can't figure out how to make Richard be here. Confusing, and technology at the minute is so I'm just going to continue my this and my head at the time. There's a little box in the corner of my screen, and I can't make the little box. So eliminate me, unfortunately. I'm gonna touch. I'll see if I can. Oh, no, that was me. I was like, oh, that's what commented, but it's just me. I'll reach him on Facebook, so okay. Wait, what? Okay. See, because I just hit my brain by pulling on the wire there. Oh Jesus, Richard.
So you had to go live first, yeah? You have to technically go live before it happens.
I had to physically see the link first. Wait there. I've got chat up and everything. Whoa, this is super weird. When I talk, it changes the camera to me. When you talk, it changes it to you.
Yes, you can also click on our names to specify it as well. Like you can click on the icons. So force it.
Google, if you're watching, this is terrifying. Google's not watching.
No, they're not. But you're not actually streaming yet?
No, it says I'm live right now. Jesus, the flicking. Wait, can I just have you? Are you just going to be forever in the bottom? Right there. I can eject you from this.
Yep.
So, if I say present to everyone, what does that mean? Go on? And then
no, that means you're actually live.
Okay. Oh, it says live in the corner of my screen. I never says live in the corner of your.
Ah, yeah, it does. I don't know.
Live. A new thing is a bit hide participants. No, we'll not do that. Okay. Wants to just preserve this as it is. Questions and hope that it has worked. The other half of me wants to stop the broadcast, check that it has worked, and then continue.
No.
You sure? Do you know if it's came up? Because
no, it's working. It's working. It's I've checked the link. We're broadcasting. Yeah, good.
Oh my God, then I'm good. In the big leagues. I think the little thing in your corner of the box means it's just permanently you. I'm okay. So there we go. It's not flicking again. It's just on you.
Good.
Richard, your video quality is better, so you can just have me in the bottom corner. All right, are you ready?
Sure, why not?
So, okay, so this video, I've got like 5 questions for you.
Okay.
It's all about your Delta.
All right. So yeah, it's. Should we do some intros first?
Yeah, you can intro.
So I'm Richard, and this is Shaun. I've also got my housemate Nikita, who may or may not join us, as he, depending how he's feeling. And we're currently in Wrocław in Poland, studying for Delta. So we're, just coming up to LSA 4. Here's Nikita. Yeah.
Hiya.
You're live on chat, do not swear.
Sorry?
Never mind.
Okay, we're doing intros. Do you want to say a little bit about yourself, Nikita?
I'm Nikita. I work in Kiev, and I'm here doing my Delta in Wrocław.
Yeah, so the reason why us two know each other, obviously we're on the Delta together. Also before that, we spent our first year teaching together in Ukraine. So we discovered English together.
Considering you come from England and you didn't discover it before you left the country.
Well, somebody had to teach me.
Was it just a burden until then?
I did my best.
It was a great service. Okay, all right, so, and I am not doing my Delta. I am currently by a bookshelf, and I'm going to try and keep up with these 2 crazy cats. And I've got some questions for them because I know nothing about Delta other than it's scary. You have to read lots of books, and there's a big scary teaching prep at the end. A teacher, though.
Yep.
Okay.
That's about right. Yep.
I've recently come from summer school, and I'm currently in the UK where it's raining, which doesn't surprise anyone. First question.
All right.
This one is for both of you. I'll let you decide who. What was the first significant problem faced?
Significant problem.
It's not
I can take this one. I think the first significant problem you encounter on the course must be the one about time management. Like you have to understand when it is exactly that you need to do the things that you need to do. That is not to say that it's hard. I mean, it is possible, but you need to be really, really clear with yourself when it is that you need to do what it is that you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, we're on an intensive course, but it's an 8-week course, whereas some courses are like 6 weeks. So we can take the occasional day off to breathe, but no more than this, The way it's kind of structured is we have inputs every day and teaching practice, once or twice a week. And then on the weekends, we write essays and do lesson plans.
And you have to do that. There's no way around it.
Yeah. It's all weekend.
Yeah. These things take time.
Significant problem is the amount of work you've had to do and the very small amount of free time you have in which to do it.
Yeah. Well, you got you got to consider like a lesson plan is like that. It's huge.
It's a document.
Like sort of 40 pages plus.
Well, that's not entirely. No, that's not true. A lesson plan together with your background essay is about 40 pages plus. So your LSA, which is your language and systems or skills assignment, is 40 pages plus
altogether.
But you have to come up with one. Sorry?
I've got question 1A for you, okay? So this is just a side question. When they first said this to you, when they said, and do a lesson about this essay, and you've got to do like 40 pages for each lesson plan, What was the first thing that popped through your head when you heard all this?
I think we kind of walked into it knowing what we were expecting, but some of the other candidates were just like, it's just, yeah. But it's all really structured, you know. It's not just continuous prose. It's very, very, very structured. So
And the tutors on the course do tell you what exactly to do. Well, maybe not exactly what to do with your particular essay, but they do kind of give you general guidelines as to what you need to do. For example, you do not need to kind of try and teach your entire essay in the lesson that you do, and that's one of the kind of like the first kind of idea that they want to put into your brain.
Yeah,
and you need to make sure that you kind of, from your essay, you pick up a small part that is teachable within an hour that you're going to be given, and then you teach that. And the smaller the part is, the easier it would be to teach, and the more kind of, the better it would kind of appear on the outside for the observer.
Yeah, it's better to teach something small thoroughly rather than teach a lot of stuff badly.
Yes.
Because the teaching practice is only an hour, whereas we're both used to like sort of hour and a half or 2 hour lessons.
2 hour lessons with hours, yeah. That can be, that for me, that was the biggest kind of problem, trying to readjust to an hour long lesson with adults. That was really difficult.
It's adults. This is one of my stuff. Okay. Francis, I have another question for you though. Now, we've talked about what was the first problem we had. I think it's only best that we now talk about something that was good. So, being facing these 40-page marathon essays before you've done, you have to turn all of that into a breath. What was the first eureka moment that you had? Oh no, the most significant or first, either one. What was the...
to be honest, I really like doing background essays because, but you don't get a chance to do it, right? Normally, so you teach something without really having a chance to go into it in depth and find out, you know, exactly how these things work. So at the moment, I'm doing articles, and it's great. You know, I mean, I'm a language nerd, right? As you are, so.
Yeah, my first eureka moment would be the first time I would read something in a book that is published, and I would say, well, that's wrong. And I can actually, you know, back that up. And I can actually put that into my essay and say, this person and so said that this is the case, and I have evidence that he's completely wrong.
Yep.
And you know, that is exhilarating. That is nice, and that is what they actually look for. Yeah, and that is what they actually look for in your essays. You know, critical awareness, as it was, you know, put to us by our tutors. Yeah. So make sure they don't look for like you kind of copying and pasting all the things that you read in the books. They look for a particular kind of engagement with the topic, and that might be critical awareness where you kind of like say something, well, this person says that, and then you kind of engage with it critically, or maybe you kind of rejiggle the things around and put things in different order, or find a new way of classifying things or categorizing things, or just a new way of classifying things. So they do look for that. It's not an MA kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, you've only got like 1,000 words for your analysis. It's very, very brief.
Okay.
But you pack a lot into that.
But if you manage to show some kind of like original thought, that is encouraged.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, for example, English is a stress-timed language, or so I thought at the start of the course. But a little eureka moment, like stress timing is something of a problematic statement. So and it's more related to, well, yeah, absolutely, and lots of other people are as well, and it's well, yeah, and it's more to do with like variable vowel length, and you know, lots of other things. But yeah, exciting stuff.
It is. You know, I'm on the edge of my seat, and I am in deep water all at the same time. Okay. All right. Next question. Number 3. What has been the biggest change in your teaching that you've seen so far? What's the biggest thing that's changed in your teaching?
Less violence.
For me, one of the revelations of this course for me was bottom-up listening, and actually teaching listening as opposed to just teaching coping strategies with listening students can't understand. That was a deal breaker for me on this course.
So, like actual sound recognition skills, not just understanding a whole text, but understanding individual words, individual sounds in a word. Which, not something I'd ever done before either.
Yeah, and when I go back to like regular teaching, that surely is something I'm gonna spend a lot of time doing, because that is what listening is about,
Yeah. I mean, it's there's no amount of coping strategies which will help a learner who's like just can't understand the difference between or and o, for example.
And it is a problem.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And for me, my big breakthrough was kind of monitoring. So like, before I'd stand there with a piece of paper and I'd just look at the students, look out for an error, and then occasionally write one down. But obviously that you're only going to be writing a very, very small sample of the learner's output, and it's all just going to be errors. It's not nothing else interesting, nothing you can upgrade, nothing you can praise. So basically the answer, which was given to us an input session, is just write everything. Just write as much as you can, and then afterwards decide what's worth focusing on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that was my big breakthrough. So now, during monitoring, I'm actually doing something.
Okay.
Yeah, so, it was also suggested by our tutors to just, whenever you listen to your learners, just record everything. Don't give it too much thought. Just whatever you hear, just put it down. You will analyze it later. That was an interesting piece of input. I'm still not sure how you can implement it in actual practice.
I
think it might be quite useful. But do you
obviously you can't record everything, right? But and especially like if you're writing something you realize it's just boring, then just stop.
Yeah, but also you can develop, like we will talk about younger learners developing the motor skills,
Yeah.
But we as teachers can also kind of put some practice into that and kind of try to come up with a shorthand, for the things that we record in class.
I tell you what, as well, in terms of sort of physical skills and so on, we recently did a Module 1 mock exam. It's like 3 hours of just writing as much as we can. It was ridiculous. I have not written that much since university,
Yeah.
And even then, not for 3 hours.
By the end, your hand looked more like a dead crab.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, why in this day and age we insist that students like handwrite anything when typing is, that's how we communicate now, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess the counterpoint would be that in Delta Module 1, the exam, a lot of emphasis is given to the way you organize your answers and the way you kind of produce bullet points or headings and subheadings. And definitely the last thing they want candidates to worry about is the intricacies of a particular word processor the candidates are using.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So we've talked about significant problems. Okay. About what you that was like the first most important problem. Okay. But what do you think was the most unexpected problem? Like a problem you didn't see coming at all? Like, so you were ready for a lot of stuff, But what took you just surprised? Like, I did not think I would need this much pizza money in this course. You know, what was the most unexpected problem that you faced?
I can take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, do remember that Delta Module 2 is actually a practical course, and your teaching and your behavior in the classroom is still examined, just as it is examined in, for example, CELTA. And for me, it was really unexpected for some of the criticism to come to my the grading of my language. So things that come up usually come up in your CELTA courses, and you would not expect it to come up in your Delta course, but it did come up for me. So that was unexpected, and that was something I had to account for. And it was something that was actually, really, really important, because I believe that, my language in the classroom was as great as it could possibly be. But some of the lessons revealed that sometimes it was way too fast for the learners, and that was really helpful. So things that you don't really focus on as much anymore, but they still matter. And on the Delta course, people still pay attention to it.
Yeah, I think the mistake that's like that. There's nothing wrong with a CELTA lesson. Like, you could go to for my LSA 4, I could do a completely CELTA style lesson, but as long as you do it well, it's probably fine. As long as you can justify everything that you want to do in your lesson plan, and it's all logical and so on, then it's not an entirely different animal, right? The basics are important.
And there's still the people still pay attention to the basics.
Yeah, definitely.
Like your rapport, your classroom manner, the way you speak to your learners, and the way you grade your language. Those things, and the way you give instructions as well. Yeah, those things still matter, even at this level. Yeah.
It's like death, taxes, and recruitment management. Okay, so I've kept you long enough. Here's the big finish, the big last question.
Nice. Hit us.
What advice would you give yourself if you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice, or to anyone about to start at Delta? What would that piece of advice be?
Make sure you have a free schedule. Have no distractions. I think you need to be you need to be sure you want it. You need to be genuinely interested in every single LSA. If you're not interested in language, you're not interested in the fine minutiae of pedagogy, don't do it. Absolutely don't. It's a waste of your time, because it doesn't earn you more money at the end of the day.
Yes, there was I think TEFL podcast where they discussed if actually Delta gives you more money, and that is not the case.
TEFLology?
Not TEFLology, just TEFL podcasts.
The TEFL show?
Yeah, TEFL show. And ultimately is, unless you're actually interested in what is going on, unless you're interested in the minutiae and kind of the deep underworkings of things, there is no other way to enjoy it. But if you are, then you have a great time. For example, for me, I found out that it was much more relaxed than, for example, my CELTA course was.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Just in terms of the time you're given to do all the things that you must submit. For example, you need to, in my CELTA course, I had to produce, 2 or 3 lessons a week.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and here, you just need to produce 1.
Well, one or 2, but only one's going to be assessed.
Yep. So the time you're given, just ample enough,
I mean, so yeah, the basic week is kind of like inputs every day. Fair enough. And maybe 1 or 2 lessons a week. That's not bad, right? That's not a that's not a tough schedule at all.
I mean, sure, you need to produce a lesson plan that is far, far more detailed than, for example, a lesson plan you need to produce for a CELTA.
Yes.
But still, you have enough time to do it.
Yeah, you definitely do. And of course, unlike CELTA, where everyone's running around like a headless chicken and, you're being thrown in the deep end and all the rest of it, everyone on the Delta kind of knows what they're doing, right? So you can just, the actual teaching thing is more of a relief. Once you get to the classroom, it's like, okay, let's get this finally over and done with.
Yeah.
It's like the last sprint finish kind of thing, right?
Yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you for taking time out of your marine schedule to be received. No doubt, Richard again, but Nikita, it was very nice to see you. And to be told, first time I've met him today. Very nice. Good luck in your big teaching practice next week.
Thank you very much.
The big scary one. I'll see you both later.
So, see you later, man. Laters.
Bye. Bye.